Good morning. I did a whole live video last night after I did my message to my cousin Jesse, and I guess it didn't upload. All right, so I was discussing in the live video last night, I discussed others' obsessions with their body parts and hair, and I mentioned it in my current book I'm working on. It's called The Dummy's Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy. And I'm teaching automotive repair, police investigation, advice and tips, and I created my own emergency psychological evaluation that anyone can use, whether you want to use it to screen a roommate or a new hire for a job. It's pretty self-explanatory. I wrote the book in a manner I think is very transparent. I do welcome criticism and compliments or thoughts on it. The manuscript is still being worked on. It's just barely finished its first rough draft with a final ending date, signed under my signature, but that's just the rough draft. That's the first draft. I still need to go through and edit it, and I didn't actually follow through with what I'm trying to follow through with in my book. And in there's a section I mentioned about people get obsessions with their body, their hair, a mole, a freckle, dimple. A lot of people have something that they're very obsessed with, and they think that because they have this thing that God gave them, they're the greatest. And there's a lot of people in the world that think that and feel that way about something on their body. So I wanted to remind you to go ahead and love your whole self, and please take some time and find that piece of your body that you hate and love that part of yourself too, and be fair and generous and even with your love and your fairness and your kindness to yourself. And I wanted to advise you to not obsess over whatever beautiful physical characteristic you found that God gave you that you admired. You can go ahead and thank God for that. Thank God He gave it to you. Praise God. Praise God. He's the greatest. And we ask God to heal us of our shortcomings, our defects, and our errors, and help us fear Him, obey Him, and worship Him alone correctly. And we ask Him to rectify us, our families, our friends, our enemies, and help us to please Him so that we can have paradise. As a recovering drug and alcohol addict, since I was 13, I think is the first time I tried to go to AA and NA for my problem. I'm not sure. Maybe 15. I don't know. So I found a new thing to get addicted to, and I just wanted to give advice to anyone else that's out there struggling with drugs and alcohol. I wanted to advise you to take it easy with the alcohol. Whoever's been seriously hard drinking and not eating food, should you see this video, I need to remind you that cutting yourself off of the alcohol cold turkey might cause you to die faster than continuing on drinking. And for me, that is terrifying. I can't take any more alcoholics. I'm sorry. I can't take any more. My last two people I took, both have alcohol and drug addictions, and completely burned out after dealing with both of them. I'm burned out emotionally. I wake up very sick every day. I puke frequently. I want to puke. I don't know if it's, because of the brain tumor or the broken eye bone injury or the liver problem or something else, or because I remember all these disgusting, really disgusting confessions that I've been told. See? I'm about to puke right now. I got literal saliva. I want to puke. The confessions I've had to listen to. Make me sick every single day. Along with whatever else I'm dealing with. I'm really nauseated. So when I was trying to get off drugs and alcohol, I used a cigarette as a control factor for not relapsing. And now as a marijuana patient, I use marijuana for my nausea so I don't puke. And it also helps my vision. And it helps with my memory issues as well. And it helps me with my temper issues as well. So that I'm able to comfort myself with extreme, I have a lot of pain and nausea, and it really helps. I recommend the marijuana. And whoever's been smoking cigarettes, I really recommend to not smoke those cigarettes and just go ahead and just only do the pot or some Fanta in the joint with the weed, to help get over that tobacco fix need. But I really, really, really don't recommend using the cigarettes as a control factor. So what I did as a kid, I quit drugs, I quit alcohol, I quit smoking cigarettes. And when something would get really difficult and I wanted to relapse, I would smoke a cigarette instead. And I would only smoke a cigarette, like when I was in an AA meeting, I'd have some coffee and smoke a cigarette with all their recovering alcoholics and addicts. I'd, sit with them. And I used the cigarette as a control factor so that I wouldn't go to do other stuff. Do you understand? So I would quit smoking cigarettes and I'd relapse on the cigarettes frequently, but not that frequent because that's what I was using to not go to the alcohol and the drugs. It's like a stage, yeah? You set up some stages for yourself. You have to set yourself up in a way that you can actually succeed. Be nice to yourself and really give yourself goals on your sobriety and stick to them. And we take it one day at a time. It's one day at a time. So don't feel panic. Breathe. Set your intentions right now. And breathe. Love yourself and accept your defects as much as you've accepted whatever you've obsessed on. And go ahead and make a list of what do you really want to do? What makes you really happy? What do you wish you knew how to do that you never learned? What do you wish you were doing with your life? What would you rather be? Who would you rather be? Every day is a new day. You can have as many names as you want. I got like 4 or 5 different names I use for my books. Whatever you need to do to help yourself to succeed, you can do it. Don't give up.